this record is essentially not about what I look like, it's more about what I want to say, and I'd like to keep it that way.
A los 22 años, la canadiense Alanis Morissette se convirtió en la gran sorpresa del mercado musical por la masiva repercusión de Jagged Little Pill, un álbum basado en sus vivencias personales.
To me, it's the easiest. I think it's the path of least resistance, really, to write a song that is personal, because you don't have to, you know, you're just being yourself. So you're just, you know, digging somewhere really deeply. It's like, you know, writing a diary in many ways.
The writing of the record was such a spiritual experience for me, and it truly was perhaps one of the most overwhelming experiences of my life. And because of my analytical nature, I immediately wanted to pick it apart and figure out how it was happening and where it all came from. And for perhaps one of the first times in my life, I couldn't explain it.
Con una imagen diferente a la que habían conocido sus compatriotas en los 80, Morissette entró a los estudios dispuesta a que el trabajo con el productor Glenn Ballard, quien acreditaba al trío Wilson Phillips como antecedente, fuera completamente distinto a sus anteriores experiencias.
This record, a lot of the songs were written in about 15 minutes to 45 minutes, just really quickly. Glenn and I in the room, very stream of consciousness.
Really more in general terms than anything, it was about trying to express something that was real and organic, and that wasn't really designed for the marketplace per se, but was designed to really be a vehicle for her expressing herself.
El primer aviso lo dio el single You Oughta Know, un tema polémico en el que Alanis Morissette habla con franqueza de su fracaso en una relación amorosa.
I got off the phone with him one day, and I was deeply disturbed, to put it lightly, and I owed it to myself to write it all out and not censor anything. What I'm finding out now is that a lot of people presume, after hearing this song, that I'm going to be sort of an angry, bitter person, and what happened with writing this song was more of a release for me as opposed to a revenge. It's not fair to deny me all the cross I bear that
you ought to know. I've heard some people say, you know, she's a man-hater. How do you respond to people that say that?
I love men. I love men, and I am now attracted to men that treat me very well, and I don't put myself in situations with men that don't.
What I found as time went on was that the more honest I was and the more forthright I was, the more empowered I became. And ironically enough, the more naked I was, the more peaceful I was too at the same time.
I sang hallelujah in the choir.
It's quite easy to return to the place you were at emotionally when you write a song, when you're performing it.
My brothers, they never went for what they did.
El público que la vio en las primeras fechas de su gira por Estados Unidos sirvió como termómetro. Desde entonces, Morissette solo se dedicó a cosechar halagos.
She's really got great lyrics, and she knows what she's talking about, and she knows really how to connect to the people who are out there listening.
She's so simple, but yet she's full of expression, and I think the world today is full of metaphors, and she brings that completely out today.
She expresses her emotions straight from the heart. I mean, she sweats them out like a bad hangover. It pours from her. It's great.
Do you think she's on the way to major stardom?
Probably best new artist next year, I think.
Does she speak eloquently? And would she have your baby? I'm sure she'd make her an excellent mother.
Cuando Alanis Morissette se presentó en vivo en la edición 95 de los MTV Video Music Awards, mezclada entre una platea de famosos, estaba su jefa, la dueña de la compañía discográfica Maverick, Madonna.
Alanis, she kicked ass.
Alanis, there's some pipes.
Yes, she's amazing.
Have you dealt much with Madonna since you've been with the label, or was it just a question of sort of meeting her and she's been supportive? And
yeah, it's a lot simpler than most people want it to be, I guess. Yeah. It's she's been supportive since day one about the record, and we had the record essentially done before we even talked to Guy Oseary, and that's part of the reason why I like Maverick right now is because I'm free there to just sort of do what I like to do creatively, and I don't have anyone breathing down the back of my neck.
Well, I feel drunk, but I'm sober. I'm young and I'm underpaid. I'm tired, but I'm working. Yeah.
You've been on a tremendous ride for the last few months. Is it still fun, or does the pressure ever get to you? Do you hope it'll never stop, or can you not wait until it does stop?
It's a little overwhelming, but when I create and when I write and even when I perform, it's all pretty insulated and introspective. So, I'm not inundated with all the information and all the adulation all the time. As long as I spend some time alone and regroup and get back to my center, I'm fine.
Alanis Morissette.
La dupla conformada con el productor Glenn Ballard comenzó a dar otro tipo de réditos. En la entrega de los Grammys, Morissette venció sistemáticamente a John Osborne y Mariah Carey y se quedó con 4 de los 6 premios para los que fue nominada.
I actually accept this on behalf of anyone who's ever written a song from a very pure place, very spiritual place, and there's plenty of room for a lot of artists, so there's no such thing as the best, and thank you very much, Glenn.
Did you forget about me, Mr. Duplicity? I hate to bug you in the middle of dinner, but it was a slap in the face, how quickly I was replaced. And are you thinking of me when you f*** her?
Esa noche, Alanis cantó una versión acústica y desgarrada de You Oughta Know.
And every time you speak her name, does she know how you told me you'd hold me until you died, but you're still alive.
The original emotion behind this song is pain, essentially, and I think, to me, the anger was an extension of it as a sort of a cowardly way of dealing with a painful experience. It's sort of darkly dysfunctional part of myself, and this version sort of brought it back to that original emotions. But I do believe that a show like tonight, the Grammys have taken a step forward in the sense that I got the sense tonight that there was a lot more votes based on artistry as opposed to commercial success.
Finalmente, Morissette fue reconocida en su país, donde ganó 5 Juno Awards, el equivalente a los Grammys norteamericanos, en categorías como Mejor Cantante y Álbum del Año, entre otras.
I just want to say that most people's growth is done in private, and artist growth is done in public, and I thank Canada as a country for accepting that in me. Thanks very much.
En medio de toda la locura por la respuesta a Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette decidió pararse a pensar.
Things are going by very quickly, and I'm just really trying to revel in it. I think what comes along with this awareness that I feel I have is that the highs aren't as high and the lows aren't as low, and you sort of keep everything in perspective, whether it's everything that's happening with this record, or whether it's my personal life or certain circumstances. Everything's a lot more peaceful, and my 20s have been the best years of my life. Jagged Little Pill comes from a lyric in You Learn, and it's followed by swallowed down and feels so good swimming in your stomach, and that just implies that a lot of times when you're immersed in a very troublesome time or a trying time, you don't realize that there's a lesson or something to be learned in it, and it's only in retrospect when you look back that you couldn't be happier for having gone through that experience. And a lot of that is what this record is about.
Swallow it down, but a jagged little pill. It feels so good, so it in your stomach. Wait until I say, yeah.
La canción You Learn se relaciona con su aprendizaje a lo largo de distintas etapas.
I'd been creative writing since the time that I was really young, and I started writing songs when I was 9, and released a record independently across Canada when I was 10, and that's where I got the first taste of it, and I knew that it was something that I had to do.
Para sostener aquel primer proyecto discográfico, sus padres utilizaron el dinero que Alanis ganó cuando participó en la serie de televisión canadiense You Can't Do That on Television, donde casualmente los personajes soñaban con formar una banda de rock.
Well, hey, I can't do it alone, right, guys? I mean, I need a band. We can form a band.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, right.
I mean, we can all be in it. Okay, what do we call it?
Beats me.
No, I don't really like the sound of that. Adam, you have any ideas? I'm thinking. No, Adam, that's too intellectual. Alanis, you must have a good idea.
I don't know.
Sometimes it's never quite enough.
Obviously, when you're that age, you don't really have any expenses, so it was just sort of sitting in my account, and I knew that I wanted to put it into my music, so I did. I'm an 80s queen. I love 80s cheese music.
Check this out. Hey boy, you want it all or nothing. Use the axe, the handshake, baby, and go with the flow, 'cause you know you've got to stand up.
Su pasado poco feliz como cantante pop adolescente es hoy para Alanis Morissette solo un recuerdo.
Stylistically, the difference between the music that I did when I was younger compared to now is that a lot of the music that I wrote back then was for the sake of entertainment, and it was much safer. I don't think I was secure enough and fearless enough to be as unadulterated as I was on this record. And the environment that I was writing in, the creative environment, wasn't conducive to me being as open.
I'm feeling the tension, yeah. Give it all reasons, 'cause you don't comprehend what I'm feeling.
I had no idea what she had done before. I knew she had made some records when she was much younger, but it didn't seem to matter. We got in the room together and we liked the noise we were making together.
Lost your place in line again, but
Buscando cambiar su destino, Alanis Morissette se fue a vivir sola a Toronto y luego se mudó a Los Ángeles.
When I moved to Los Angeles, I knew there was this sort of intangible energy, this potency in that city, and while there was a lot of darkness and sort of pretension, I also knew that there was this sort of core of the city that had a lot of ambition, and nobody really tries to stop you when you want to do something. There's nobody raising any eyebrows, really. I like that.
it's a long way down.
Las cosas obviamente no fueron fáciles. Antes de encontrar a la persona indicada para su nuevo proyecto, conoció a mucha gente, pero no toda le cayó bien.
I just didn't really feel any synergy with anybody and didn't connect with them on a cerebral level or an intellectual level at all until I met Glenn, and he and I really did connect, and the rest is history.
Casi como una respuesta lógica al suceso de Jagged Little Pill, el primer productor en que pensaron los integrantes de Aerosmith a la hora de trabajar en su nuevo disco fue en Glenn Ballard.
It's funny, we were having a meeting about using him, and somebody mentioned the Alanis Morissette record, which I hadn't heard yet, and I really hadn't listened to the radio, and somebody said you should, give it a listen. So, I listened to it, and I thought it was great.
Glenn's the kind of guy that will meet with an artist and see where they're coming from and provide an environment for them to feel safe, and that's what he did with me, and I know that's what he's done with many artists in the past, and probably very well did that with Steven Tyler and Joe.
Did you forget about me? Mr. Duplicity, I hate to bug you in the middle of dinner.
El disco contó con algunos invitados ilustres. Flea y Dave Navarro, bajista y guitarrista de Red Hot Chili Peppers, por ejemplo, tocaron en el hit You Oughta Know.
Jimmy Boyle, the man that mixed it, heard a version that Glenn and I had done originally, and he wanted to try something on it.
I love playing with different people. I'm always happy to play with something different, whether it's completely different from what I usually do or not. It was just an opportunity to go down to Maverick Studios and kind of remix that Alanis song. And I thought the lyrics were great, the vocals were great.
So they tried something on it and it wound up being really great, so we used it.
That's a video for You Ought to Know Where to Do That.
We shot that in the Mojave Desert for 3 days in Death Valley, and we just wanted to focus on not necessarily the literal take of what the lyrics are saying. I think that probably would have been overkill. We wanted to focus on the sort of isolation that I felt afterwards and the coming to terms with it, really. And that's how we did it.
Do you enjoy making videos?
I do. I love editing them, actually.
How involved are you?
Very.
Storyboards and everything?
Yep.
Pick the director?
Yep.
I'm high, but I'm grounded. I'm sane, but I'm overwhelmed. I'm lost, but I'm hopeful, baby.
A pesar de que en el momento de grabar un nuevo video Alanis Morissette trata de involucrarse al máximo en la producción, no siempre se le hace fácil representar con imágenes lo que cuentan sus letras, como por ejemplo en Hand in My Pocket.
I just sat down and wrote out exactly how I felt, and at the time I just had no money and I was borrowing money from my manager Scott, and living in hotel rooms and people's couches, and it was probably the most difficult time throughout this whole process.
And what it all comes down to is that everything's gotta be quite alright.
We shot Hand in My Pocket in Brooklyn, and we created a parade scene. I worked with Mark Corer on that. I just wanted to be the observer in the video as opposed to the center of attention. And it's a very linear song, and I just wanted to be sort of going along and watching people and seeing all kinds of different personalities. And the song has a lot of dualities in it, and I just wanted to tap into a lot of those, again, without hitting anyone over the head with any literal takes on it. I have a problem with sort of a visual literal take on something that is already literal enough.